Hi guys, welcome back to Cikgu L channel. Okay, in previous lesson you have learned on the benefits of saving, and one of the benefit of saving is the simple interest. You have learned about simple interest, and for this lesson, okay, for this class you will learn on the compound interest. Okay, what is the difference between compound interest and simple interest? Later you will know. Alright. So what is compound interest? Compound interest is that the interest that is calculated based on original principal and also accumulated interest from the previous period of savings. Okay, so compound interest is different from simple interest in terms of the amount of saving to be used for interest calculation. If simple interest is I equals to PRT. This one is for the simple interest, okay, in that you have learned in the previous class. Okay, so it doesn't include the accumulated interest, and this compound interest, it consider the accumulated interest from the previous period of savings. Okay, for compound interest, the frequency of compounding, okay, the frequency of compounding on the principal can be different. For example, maybe it compounded once a year, okay, or once every 3 months, and so on. Yeah, so it based on how many times it compounds in a year. Okay, so the calculation of the compound interest must be based on the how many times it is compounded. Alright, okay, the formula, okay, the formula for the compound interest is this one. Okay, yeah, which is MV equals to P in bracket 1 plus R over N, close the bracket, power of NT. Okay, MV is referred to matured value. It means the total savings. Okay, the total savings. Alright, means that the total saving is saving plus the interest, accumulated interest. Okay, P refer to the principal, which is the initial amounts of money deposited in the saving accounts. Okay, and then R is referred to the rates. Okay, must be referred to the yearly interest rate. Okay, alright, and then N is the number of period in the interest is compounded per year. Okay, if it is compounded 6 months a year, means that twice a year. Okay, if it's compounded quarterly a year, means that 4 times a year. Alright, and then T is referring to the terms in years. Okay, so now look at the example. Okay, how to calculate the compound interest. Alright, based on the example 6 in your textbook, okay, at the beginning of year, Mrs. Liu Fong saved 15,000. This one is principal, okay, in her saving account with a rate of 4% per annum. This one is R, and compounded every 6 months. So this one you have to determine the number of compounded times in a year. Okay, number of period the interest compounded per year. Okay, so this one is twice. Okay, twice. What is Mrs. Liu Fong's total saving at the end of the 3rd year? Okay, means this one is T. Alright, so how to calculate the total saving? The formula is MV equals to, okay, the formula is P in bracket 1 plus R over N, close the bracket, power of NT. Alright, so this formula you have to know, and how you have to know how to apply. Okay, so substitute the value. P is 15,000, RM 15,000, in bracket 1 plus R is 4%, so we write as 0.04 over how many times it's compounded? Twice a year. Okay, so divide by 2, close the bracket, power of NT. N is 2 and T is here is 3. Okay, because third year, so T is 3. Alright, and then you calculate by using calculator. Okay, 15,000 plus in bracket 1 plus 0.04 over 2. Okay, power of 2 times 3 is 6. Here is 6. Okay, and the answer is, alright, RM 16,892 and 44 cents. Okay, you write in terms of, okay, 2 decimal places because in cents. Alright, so the answer is 16,000. The total saving is 16,892.44. Okay, or 44 cents. Okay, now look at another example. In example 7, a bank offers 5% interest rate per annum. This one is R. Okay, for saving in fixed deposit accounts. If Puan Wahida save 10,000 at the beginnings, this one is P. Okay, how much money in her fixed deposit account at the end of year if the interest compounded once every 3 months? Once every 3 months means that, okay, how many times in a year? N is equals to 4 times. Okay, because every 3 months it will be compounded. 3 times 4 is 12. Total 12 months in a year. Okay, so for 4 times a year it will be compounded for the question A. And for question B, once a month means that N is equals to 12. It will be compounded every month. Alright, so you answer question A. Okay, the formula is MV equals to P in bracket 1 plus R over N, close the bracket, to the power of NT. Okay, what is the value of T? Okay, this question asks you, okay, how much money in her fixed deposit account at the end of the year. At the end of the year means that the first year lah. Alright, okay, so T is equals to 1. Alright, so now calculate, substitute the value. Okay, the principal is 10,000. Okay, in bracket 1 plus the rate is 0.05. Okay, 0.05 over how many times? 4 times. Close the bracket, to the power of 4 times 1. Okay, and then you calculate. Okay, 10,000 in bracket 1 plus 0.05 over 4. Close the bracket, to the power of 4. Okay, so the answer is 10,000 RM 10,509.45. Okay, this one is the total of saving if the interest is compounded every 3 months. For question B, okay, MV equals to Okay, P in bracket 1 plus R over N, close the bracket, and T. Okay, so the value here is 10,000 times 1 plus the rate is same 0.05, but here over N is over 12 because this question B it's compounded once a month. Okay, to the power of NT 12 times 1. Okay, and then you calculate. Okay, here you calculate. Okay, this one is just the same. Okay, so I just change here over 12. This one is 12. Okay, so the answer is RM 10,511.62. Okay, so this one is the answer if it compounded once a month. Okay, so now you can make comparison if it is compounded every 3 months, and this one if it's compounded every month. Okay, the value of the interest will be, okay, the value of interest also will difference. Okay, if it compounded many times, okay, so the interest also will be higher, all right, compared to if it compounded every 3 months. Okay, now the last example, example 8. Mr. Charles deposited 6,000 in a fixed deposit account at Bank Berjaya for 2 years. Okay, this one is T equals to 2. Okay, with an interest rate 6% per annum. This one is R. What is the difference? Okay, the question asks you the difference between the amount of interest Mr. Charles earned if he was given compound interest compounded once every 4 months compared to simple interest. Okay, so now you have to make comparison between compound interest and simple interest. Okay, so here if compound interest, okay, if we find the compound interest, okay, alright, so here, okay, compounded once every 4 months, so the number of compounded times in a year is 3 times. Okay, 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, so MV, okay, I suggest you when you want to make to find the value, you make the calculation, make sure you write back. Okay, you rewrite the formula, because if you rewrite the formula, then you will remember the formula and you know how to use the formula. Okay, so P in bracket 1 plus R over N to the power of NT. Alright, the principal is 6,000. Okay, this one is 6,000 in bracket 1 plus R over N. R is 0.06 over N is 3 to the power of this one 2 years. Okay, so N 3 times 2. Okay, then you calculate. Okay, calculate 6,000 in bracket 1 plus 0.06 over 3. Okay, to the power of 3 times 2. Okay, this one to the power of 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, so the answer is RM 6,756.97, not 98. Okay, 97. Okay, this one is if it is compounded. Okay, it is compounded once every 4 months, but the question asks you to find the difference amounts of interest. Okay, so here is this one is the total saving. Okay, this one is the total savings. Okay, so to find the interest, okay, to find the interest is equals to amounts of total saving. Okay, RM 6,756.97. You have to minus with the initial amount of money or the principal. Okay, the principal is 6,000. Okay, so the interest is 756.97. This one if it use the compound interest. Okay, alright, if by using simple interest, okay, compared to the simple interest, you have to find what is the value of interest. So interest, simple interest is equals to PRT. Okay, the principal is 6,000. Okay, and then times the rate. Okay, the rate is 6%, 0.06 times 2 years. Okay, 2 years. Okay, and then you calculate 6,000 times 0.06 times 2. This one if use the simple interest, so the interest is 720. Okay, so now you can make comparison. Okay, if it use compound interest, this one is the value 756.97, and this one is the interest based on simple interest. So which one is higher, give the higher interest? Okay, clearly there is compound interest will give the higher interest. Okay, so I hope you understand on how to find the compound interest, and then you know how to make comparison between the number of compounded times in a year. Okay, you make the comparison based on example 7, and based on example 8, okay, you make comparison between compound interest and simple interest. Okay, so I hope you understand it. Okay, if you want further explanation, you can ask in our Telegram group. Okay, so see you in next video. Bye.